Let's try to find one more 5-star this year because the end of the year is approaching. We don't have much time left, and I wanted to read some 5-star predictions because the week it's been a little rough, okay? I've been struggling a little bit. So I have a few options. I think I'm going to read the first one because it is short and I do think I'm going to love it. And afterwards, I think I might try the first couple pages of like all three of the books just to figure out which one there's the highest chance of me giving it 5-star. Because I need it. I need it. So the first book I will be reading has to be this one. This is The Lost Daughter by Elena Ferrante. I love her. I have read 5 of her books and like 4 of them were 5-star. So like chances are I will enjoy this one. It was also, there's an adaptation. And this is the same actress that plays the stepmother in Fleabag. So like I need to watch that too. So I'll read it, watch the adaptation. We'll see what works the best for me. In this one, we follow this woman who kind of reinvents herself. She finds herself back whenever her daughters leave the nest and she's divorced. She's just trying to find herself, like I was saying. She takes a holiday in Italy and that's when things start happening. It's short. It's like 100-something pages. 140, and she has complex thoughts about motherhood. In general, the author tends to do that quite a bit. We don't know who the author is, by the way. She is writing under a pen name, so sometimes it feels very personal. Her opinions about motherhood specifically, she tends to write about that a lot. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this could be a 5-star. And then the next 3, because I don't know which one to pick, and they are all over like 300-400 pages, so I will only have time to read maybe 1 or 2. So my options are this one, which is not super well known. It is a debut author, but it got a shout out from Brandon Sanderson. That's why I picked it up, and I was hoping I was going to love it. It's an adult fantasy standalone, which I want to go back to fantasy, and I've heard that this one is a little cozy, and the magic system is very unique. It's based on the main characters are defending themselves from demons by using magic in these little dolls. So I'm curious to see if I'm going to love it. I feel like I've mentioned it a few times. It's about 400 pages, and I want something fun and unique, so this might be it for me. I do have another fantasy. This one is chunkier. It's like 500 pages. This is The Spear Cuts True Water. I've heard nothing but praises about this one, and it's a world where there's an emperor that is using, for evil, the magical powers of a god that they've locked under the palace, and then the character are trying to save the god, like escaping with them. So that sounds good. The reviews have been so positive too, so very excited. And if I'm feeling more in the mood for a mystery thriller, you know, last good one before the end of the year, you have this one. It's partially told in a podcast format, so I might try to see if I can have access to the audiobook, but it is a new release, so probably not going to happen. So in this one, you have these 2 young girls who grew up in this small town. They were like the golden girls. Everyone thought the world of them, and then one day one of them is murdered, the other one is found covered in her blood, and everyone thinks she did it. She thinks she might have done it because she doesn't remember what happened, and this might be something that I can't put down. So not only would it help me with the slim feeling, but it would also be a 5-star prediction because again, people seem to have really enjoyed that one, and mystery thrillers are a little bit more hit and miss for me, but so I feel like in here, there has to be a 5-star somewhere in there. And like I said, I will have time to read at least 2, maybe 3 if things go well. It all depends on how readable they are and how slumpy-ish I feel. So that's the TBR for the week. I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling. Let's find 1 5-star in here. I'll try and see if I could get a good audiobook also because currently I only have, I just opened the app and they offered me a few options. I was going to say I only have a nonfiction, The New Menopause, that I just started. I'm 3% into it. But I wanted to add one more like possible 5-star audiobook that would be fiction. And I just got Here One Moment by Leanne Moriarty. So that's it. This is another possibility for this week. That's perfect. It is 16 hours long, so I don't know if I'm going to have time to finish the whole thing, but I have been in the mood to go on walks more, so maybe. Leanne Moriarty, I have mixed feelings about this author because I loved Big Little Lies by her. It was a 5-star. I really, really enjoyed it. Murder Mystery. And the other ones, I've tried 3 more of her books and I didn't finish any of them because I hated them. Like one of them I made it pretty far, but I hated it, so I put it down. And the other 2, I put them down really quickly because again, visceral reaction. So this one I wasn't going to try it until I saw the reviews and like read them. The ratings are positive and the premise was intriguing. You have this group of people that are in a airplane and this woman gets up and tells everyone, I think, prediction of their death, and then you're following the story. Listen, this is giving me Final Destination flashbacks. And I wanted to know, mostly because, again, the reviews have been really positive. So I wanted to try it. I'm going to click borrow right now. So I have 21 days to listen to that one, but that's it. Ah, perfect timing. Thank you, Libby. I'm taking this as a really good sign for the week, so fingers crossed. At least 1 5-star. Midweek update. It's been a long day. It's been a long week, really. It's one of those weeks. So I've made some decent progress. I'm about halfway through this one, The Lost Daughter. This is nothing. Just forget what I said in the intro. I mean, technically, yes, she is on a vacation for the first time and she has a lot of alone time, but she is, I don't know, I'm not liking the main character. Let's just go with that. She's making some questionable choices. I'm not sure how I feel about it. The author tends to write about relationship between mothers and daughters and just womanhood. And she's not afraid to talk about the raw details and just things that we don't necessarily admit to ourselves or some people think about. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. Clearly, the author has to put some of her own stuff in her books because, again, all 3 stories I've read were containing these topics, and I have opinions, but I'm going to wait until I finish this one before I have more to share. And after that, I started something else because I just couldn't binge read that book. So I started these 2. I read the first 20-something pages of both at first because neither of them has chapters or like proper chapters. So I wanted to see which one I was more in the mood for. And it turns out that The Spear Cuts Through Water is more heavy on the prose than I'm in the mood for right now. So I'm still going to read this. I'm really excited for it, but it's just not, I'm again feeling a bit slumpy. I've been posting so many videos and I can't seem to sleep. I feel like I keep waking up at night, and every time I sit down to read, I fall asleep. So it's just a weird combo. So I ended up picking up this one at the Doll Makers, and I'm about halfway through it, this one, and I'm really enjoying it. I do feel like the main character, she is 21 and she's definitely also making some questionable choices, but out of sheer stubbornness that makes sense at 21, and it's not frustrating. I feel like sometimes you're following younger characters and you're like, please speak to an adult or something, and I'm not sensing that. She has been wanting to be a doll maker her whole life because whenever she was 5, 6, there was this red tide. These monsters kill basically everyone in that city almost, including all her family, and she's the sole survivor of her family, so she wants to become a doll maker that makes guard dolls that can protect them from those creatures. And now that it's time to pass a test to decide which kind of doll maker she will be, and she's not happy with how things are going, so she's on a mission right now. And yeah, she's making some questionable choices, but I'm very much invested in the story. I want to know, because the dolls are the only things that can kill these monsters, and like you don't know why yet. So I'm hoping I'm gonna get my answers, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. And I understand why people were saying cozy-esque because she's going to spend a lot of time in a small village, but I don't know if I would call it 100% cozy, but so far I am enjoying it. So I'm balancing things out. I'm surviving. No hard feelings against this one. I think I'm just in a weird mood right now. So yeah, so far so good though. Time for my final update. We're gonna ignore the mess in the background. It's not happening. I may have been fighting for my life trying to replace the curtain rod and the curtains. It's not looking good. Nothing went smoothly. This died within like 5 seconds, as it always does, right? Anyway, I have some good and some bad news. So let's start with the bad news as I do my skincare, because why not? I'm going to bed. It was one of those days where like nothing was cooperating. But I gave up on The Lost Daughter because, I mean, I'm still going to finish it. I should have started with that. I will finish it because I do want to love this author. I mean, I love the Neapolitan series, but I gave up on the book. How far am I? I am at chapter 16, so page 74. I don't remember where I was at last time. I don't think I made much progress because this author is really good at making you feel these raw emotions that are linked to, you know, the female condition. I've addressed that earlier, but I feel like I wasn't going to give it a 5-star, and I have been really feeling the effects of the weather. Like right now, it's like 6 o'clock and it's so dark. Like I'm ready for bed. So I felt like it was putting me in a mood that I didn't want to feel. So I will finish it. Now it's part of what I call my pile of shame, which I haven't talked about my pile of shame. And I feel like I've added a couple books this year. So no comments. But this one I did finish, so that's the first good news. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would give it a 5-star though, which that was a point, but like who cares about the title of this vlog? I enjoyed it, which is what matters. I thought this was a standalone, but the door is definitely open for more, and I'm hoping that it's a question of the publisher deciding to give her more money. So buy this book. I loved it and I need to know what will happen next. So like, do me a favor. But really, I had already kind of explained, you know, the whole like doll thing, but it's so much more. It's so much more. I realized I still had some. Did you do that too? I almost finish a product and then I move on to something else. It's a bad habit. I love this moisturizer, by the way. If you have dry skin, or if you live somewhere that is really dry during winter like me, this is amazing. Anyway, this is like my 3rd or 4th tube of this. So the main character is definitely not likable at first, which I know is a deal breaker for some people, but she learns. That's the point, right? So she goes to that remote village to steal someone's job. That's the point of this, and she will learn her lesson really hard. I enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed the world building. That is 100% a strength. I enjoyed the little bit of like mystery as to like where are these monsters coming from kind of thing. I enjoyed the character's growth, and I think the only thing I wasn't 100% a fan of, there's a little bit of romance which I wasn't feeling, but it's such a small portion of the book, and this is a debut author, her first book, and I really enjoyed it, and I think I'm gonna give it 4.25. Like, it was a solid read. I like, the world is so unique that's why I want more. Like, while I was reading it, I was like, oh, it's so sad that it's a standalone. It's not, probably not, right now it is, but the door is definitely open to solve more of the mystery, and I'm really hoping that it will get more hype and that you guys will be buying it so I can get the answers, because I need them. This was good. This was really, really good. So very happy with that. Oh, I don't have lip balm. The lip balm choice. You know, it's good when I have, how many lipsticks, lip balms do you own that are opened? Too many. They're everywhere. But this is almost done. It's just good. I feel like the ones in tubes do tend to be a lot less moisturizing than the ones in a jar, but on the go, I don't want to stick my fingers in a jar, but this is, I'm happy. And the last good news, or I mean, I finished another book, which I'm happy about because I was feeling kind of slumpy-ish. I finished the newest Leon Moriarty, and I can't remember the title right now. It's on the phone, but I listened to the audiobook. I finished it in a week. Like, I was a reading machine. To be fair, the narration was kind of slow, so I listened to it at like 2 times the speed, which I don't do that super often, so I flew through the book and I enjoyed it. I feel like I was nervous because I had really liked Big Little Lies by her. That was my first book by her. It was a 5-star murder mystery, and in theory didn't sound like something I would care about, but I really enjoyed it. And then I tried 2 or 3 more of her books and I couldn't finish any of them. So like, I was not going to read anything else by her, but then I heard great things about her newest book and I was like, okay, might as well give it one more shot. And I will say all of her books do have that thing in common where it's like not even character driven, it's almost like a character exploration. So the premise was intriguing. The fact that people in the plane, this woman gets up and start predicting everyone's death and time of death, well, the age of death. So everyone panics, obviously, and they go on to live their life pretending that, oh no, it's fine, it didn't affect me, but people start dying. So throughout the book, you are learning the background of that woman, and then at the same time, you're following these characters living their life and possibly dying. So yeah, I enjoyed it. This time it worked. And the other times it really didn't work. The characters were annoying me. I was thinking about, what was it called? I'll put it also on the screen. No brain cells tonight. So I am also seeing the fairy lights. My life is in shambles. But that other one, I made it like 60% into it, and I was getting madder and madder because the way she was describing the characters. Anyway, this time they're not unlikable, at least the majority of them, and I was intrigued enough to continue the story. I don't know what to give it for a rating because I'm thinking 3.5, maybe 3.75, but then I'm like, if I round both of these at 4, it doesn't feel fair because this one is definitely better. So I don't know, I'll think about it, but it gives you an idea. I finished it, which, like, after putting down 3 of her books, that's usually a good sign. And if you enjoy more contemporary, again, character exploration kind of stories, I think you should give this one a shot. You're probably gonna like it. And yeah, audiobook was the right format because it just worked for me. So I am happy with the way my week went, even though I did not read a 5-star. But honestly, considering life and my mood, I'm okay with it. I feel like I never got used to the time change this year. Usually winter depression never affects me, or I feel like it doesn't affect me, but this year I'm feeling it. I went and I got myself some vitamin D drops. This is the sign that, like, oh, I was feeling the need. So yeah, this is the vlog. It went okay. It went okay. No 5-star, but I'm happy. Honestly, I'm happy I finally got to it because I bought it not that long ago, but like I kept telling myself, oh, you need to pick it up. And I was starting to build this pressure of like, what if I don't like it? But I did. I liked it. So next vlog is going to be my read it on haul it. I'm going to do 2 in a row. So yeah, bringing in the chaos. I hope you're ready. I'll put more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, and I will see you in that vlog soon. I'm nervous. Will the jar be on my side this time? Probably not.